Law enforcement organizations will soon be able to forecast crimes up to a week in advance. The use of algorithms around us has increased dramatically in recent years. Algorithms are used in everything from weather prediction to driving automobiles, providing shopping suggestions, and discovering solutions for ailments. It would be surprising if we didn't use them to deal with criminals. Before the Olympics, Tokyo police plan to use artificial intelligence-based technologies to anticipate crimes before they occurred. Crime and Victimization Risk Model in Chicago. With the assistance of academics, the Chicago Police Department launched the Crime and Victimization Risk Model in 2012. The program analyzed criteria such as age and criminal history to compile a list of probable attackers and their victims. It even assigned a score to each individual on the list to aid law enforcement organizations in prioritizing following the projected culprit and their victim. The concept was intriguing, but the execution was questionable. According to subsequent investigations, over half of the putative culprits on the list had never been charged with unlawful possession of guns. In contrast, others had never been accused of a major crime. A 2019 article from Technology Review highlighted how risk assessment algorithms that evaluated whether an individual should be jailed or not were trained on historically skewed data. University of Chicago's social scientists have devised an algorithm that can predict crime in metropolitan regions up to a week in advance. When these researchers attempted to create their algorithm, they hoped to avoid mistakes made in the past. Law enforcement agencies can use machine learning and artificial intelligence to anticipate crime. Governments frequently employ these methods to discourage crime through predictive policing. However, early attempts at crime prediction were contentious. This is because structural biases in police enforcement are not taken into consideration. The researchers employed a separate model to investigate the police reaction to crime, analyzing the number of arrests made following events and comparing those rates across socio-economically diverse neighborhoods. According to the study, the model revealed that crime in wealthy regions resulted in more arrests, whereas crime in poorer areas resulted in fewer arrests. The model, however, indicated that crime in impoverished neighborhoods did not result in more arrests, implying bias in police reaction and enforcement. Consideration is given to two significant kinds of crime. According to the paper, the technology was evaluated and verified using historical data from the city of Chicago on two major categories of reported incidents. These include both violent and property offenses. Homicides, assaults, and battery are examples of violent crimes. Burglaries, thefts, and motor vehicle thefts are examples of property crimes. The researchers utilized Chicago crime statistics because they were more frequently reported to police in metropolitan regions where there has historically been skepticism and lack of cooperation with law enforcement. Similar to drug offenses, traffic stops, and other misdemeanor violations, these crimes are less prone to police prejudice. Spatial models neglect the city's inherent topology. He said that transportation networks respect streets, sidewalks, railway lines, and bus lines, whereas communication networks respect communities with similar socio-economic backgrounds. According to the paper, the new methodology separates criminality by examining the temporal and location coordinates of discrete occurrences and recognizing trends to forecast future crimes. Instead of depending on biased conventional neighborhood or political borders, the new model splits the city into 1,000-foot wide spatial tiles and forecasts inside these regions. The model worked well not just with data from Chicago, but also with data from 7 additional U.S. cities: Atlanta, Austin, Detroit, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Portland, and San Francisco. According to the authors, experts should not use the tool's accuracy to drive law enforcement, but rather as a toolkit of urban policy and enforcement techniques to combat crime. If you loved this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel for more.